out of words now to describe what really happened in Bengaluru. We've spoken a lot about India's poor batting performance when it comes to swinging conditions, but 46 all out, the number one ranked team in WTC, it's just unbelievable. It's humiliating, in fact.
Oh, absolutely, Ashish. Since the day whenever, since we actually started watching this match, and actually, it is not off the mark to say that there seemed to be a bit of overconfidence for the Team India. The way they have gone about this entire thing, at the end of it, it's a day of ignominy, undoubtedly. Atrocious batting performance. I mean, from the word go, it was clear that the Indian batters had absolutely no answers for the seam, pace, and bounce that was on display from the Kiwi Pacers. And the conditions, I mean, it is the best possible toss for New Zealand to lose. Remember, they are coming off a string of defeats, and India were looking at a 5-0 kind of a scorecard ahead of the tour of Australia. But now that seems to be in jeopardy, and it could have serious ramifications on the World Championship test table as well. Ashish, I mean, from Rohit to Virat, to KL Rahul, all the batters look absolutely at sea. As you rightly said, such was the control and the sheer ruthlessness displayed by Matt Henry and Will O'Rourke that it seemed that they were bowling to some club-level batters. And I'm sorry to use this word for some of the great Indian batters who were batting out there in the middle, but nobody had actually expected such a catastrophic display at Chinnaswamy. No words, really no words. And if things weren't bad, the sun came out in the second half of the day, and batting looked far more easier when the Kiwi batters were out there. And at the end of the day, a 130-run lead already on the board for New Zealand. And India, it would be a euphemism to say that they have their backs to the wall. They are absolutely pinned against the wall, Ashish.
Absolutely. Himanshu, you were talking about how the conditions favored New Zealand in a way because as soon as they started batting, the sun came out and the conditions got better to bat. But again, at the end of the day, it was India that actually got themselves in that position. What was the logic behind Rohit Sharma opting to bat when the conditions were clearly in favor of pace bowlers? We have three spinners in this squad, which also doesn't make sense. And also, help us understand if this is the time to recall someone like a Rahane or a Pujara because our middle order right now just doesn't look ready for the Border Gavaskar Trophy.
Ashish, so multiple things over there. To start with, as you rightly pointed out, maybe the team management knows something that we don't. They might have expected the Chinnaswamy pitch, which has been under covers for the past couple of days, to possibly actually deteriorate a lot more quickly than the other experts. So maybe going in with three spinners had a lot to do with that. So when you go in with three spinners, you would obviously like to put up a total in the third innings and then put the Kiwi batsman under pressure. That has clearly backfired. Yes, the middle order is again an area of concern. This Team India and what is being recently been coined as row ball, taking a cue from the baseball of English style of cricket, Ashish is about a certain aggressive brand of cricket. However, aggression is good when the conditions are suitable, you know, you're in certain sort of form, but not when you're 24 for 5. And beat Sarfraz or other batsmen, there are times when you have to buckle down, you know, you have to play the conditions, you have to play the surface and actually grind your way out of trouble. With that not being seen today, there is a question mark for sure because when you're in Australia, you're put under immense pressure. And Australians know that if they find the slightest of gap, they'll make it a mile. You give them an inch, they make it a mile. And there in the middle order, you need people who show the fortitude to actually tackle the Aussies under those conditions. If we go back to the last Border Gavaskar Trophy, Pujara took umpteen number of blows on his bodies. People talk about Rishabh Pant and his fantastic knock at the Gaba, but it also had a lot to do with the way Pujara kept on taking blows to his body but not giving his wicket away. That is a sort of temperament at times that you need in Test cricket. This is a test not only of your skill but also of your temperament and fortitude. And unfortunately, that wasn't seen today. I mean, even skipper Rohit, yes, we all hailed him when he hit 2 sixes of the first two deliveries against Bangladesh in the previous game. But on this sort of a surface against a quality seam attack, again charging down the wicket, bold all ends up. And that's what happens when you live by the sword, Ashish, you die by it as well.
All right, Himanshu, before I let you go, if you can just help us understand what this means for India's WTC chances here, because Again, they will be playing the final if they qualify in, I believe it will be at the Lord's Cricket Ground. And we've seen in the past couple of finals as well, the ball will swing and seam, and Indian batters, from what we've seen today, it'll be a heist if we even cross 100.
Well, Ashish, I would not make such a dire forecast as of now, but yes, considering that India was strongly banking on going to Australia with a 5-0 clean sweep at home, this, if the match progresses the way day one has gone, this could be a major dent to those prospects. I don't think anybody would want to look that far ahead as to what can happen. Yes, the last two WTC finals in English conditions have not gone well for India, beat against New Zealand, beat against Australia. But as of now, I think Team India does really need to look inwards as to how they've approached this game, how do they strategize going forward to sort of what do they do and when they come back to Chinnaswamy on day three, because they say the match isn't lost until the last run has been scored. But right now, this is tough. It will definitely have an impact on Team India's prospects as far as WTC finals are concerned. But the larger question, as you said, about facing seam and swing in those conditions, I think would be far from mine. But that is something that cannot be put off indefinitely and will definitely come up in the future. Australia is not so much of a seam country, but England is. And the Duke ball has in the past really killed the ego of the hallowed Indian batting lineup.
All right, Himanshu, in fact, we'll be discussing this and a lot more at 7:30 p.m. today, India's performance today and what it means for their WTC chances as well. Appreciate you joining us on the broadcast, getting us all those details. In fact,